Ladies and gentlemen, what it do? I am your host, Young Bo Easy, and you are now tuned in to the Knicks vibes, ladies and gentlemen. What it do, man? Come on. We just played the Bucks. Ended in a loss, man. Shed a tear, shed a tear. 119, 108. Up at Pfizer Stadium, I believe it is, man, in Milwaukee. You gotta fear the dead when you go over there, you know what I'm saying? But we competed, all right? But before I get into that, man, like, comment, subscribe, share with your peoples, man. I truly appreciate all you people that be tuning in on the regular and watching. I hope y'all continue with me on this journey. And please share with your peoples, man. I truly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't resist a smile like this. You know what I mean? You gotta subscribe. You gotta listen to me drop these gems, you know what I'm saying? The post game breakdown, you know what I'm saying? From a different perspective. So beautiful. Alright? But listen, missed the last two games. One, I was at the Orlando game, which we ended up in Dallas. So I was able to catch that one live. It's always good when you can catch a Knicks game there at the Mecca, there at the Garden, there in MSG. You know what I'm saying? Seeing it with your own two eyes, it's not like it, man. Beautiful experience as always. And they got their first. That was my first time seeing them win. All right, but anyway, the game after that we had a good game again, man. I'm forgetting who we played. A tough game, but we played the Hornets. Uh, uh, and we did what we were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Handle business. Came out with a W. All right. But today, we faced a real competitive team, man, in the Bucks championship contending team, and this is without even Joe Ingles, and this is without their second star, Chris Middleton. Uh, so you can only imagine, but I think it's easier to guard them. That's just me personally. I think it's easier to guard them with a guy like Middleton because he's a little bit slower pace. Same thing with Joe Ingles. Um, but they moved that ball, man. And they had some quicker people out there. Jordan Nwora is out there. What's you got what you call ball headed Javon Carter out there, man. He was moving. He was giving them a little bit more pace. You know what I'm saying? Brook Lopez got the stiff back, but he's over there punching shots. He didn't hit too many threes from the outside today, but he had a little nice post fadeaway that I personally liked. Um, and he was just out there doing his job, man. But the whole team as a whole is just they're crazy. They got length, man. You got Giannis, who's 7 feet, just running through people, and anytime he's running, it's your defense could be set up, but they're moving like it's a fast break. That's how much pressure he just puts. Like you're just backpedaling and you're panicking. You know what I'm saying? It's just and not everybody has those type of players to defend him. But when you got a dude like Giannis coming down there, you got length like Brook Lopez, and Jrue Holiday is not short, nor is he weak. He's a strong point guard, very defensive point guard, very aggressive, man. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6". It's just it's a competitive team, man. So nonetheless, we fought, man, and the crazy part is that they shot poorly. Like shot poorly from deep, shot poorly as a whole. It was like I could try to pull up the exact stats, but I believe they shot like low 30% from deep, and even just high 30% for the whole game. But they shot over 100 times. Like they had over 100 attempts because they were getting so many offensive boards, which goes to that length. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's crazy. Um, but what I do like is listening to the post game, and there's accountability. You know what I'm saying? Brunson automatically puts it on him. He know he's the there's the coach, and then he's the extension of the coach. He felt like we just dug ourselves a hole. There was a point where they went on a run. Like it must have been like an 18-0 run or a 21. Like it was bad. That was one of the worst runs I've seen a team go on during the Tom Thibodeau, whatever you want to call it, campaign, whatever you want to call it, since he's been coaching us. Uh, a regime like it's just I don't recall a team going on a run like that. You know what I'm saying? We would at least even chip 2 points, but we couldn't get a bucket. We couldn't buy nothing. And they was going on 20 points straight. And we was able to cut it down and almost had a point where we could tie it. And literally they came back and hit 2 3. So it was just we was trying to dig ourselves out of that hole. At a certain point, the bench probably put in a little more effort than the starters did today. Starters were definitely out there struggling, but what I like to hear is accountability. And I do think that we could compete even better when it comes to a team like this. They're a team that holds people under 100 points. Their average is 97, and we was able to crack that. We made it to 108, and I can't really say held them to 119, but them shooting that bad and us still competing is just I think that says a lot about both teams. One, they were hurt and they could just be that much better, but at the same time you got to give some kudos to the defense as well. Although you still allowed 119 points, it's the way that you had them shooting, the percentages. Now if you got them shooting at those type of percentages, we're completing the effort with rebounds. We're completing that play with rebounds, defensive rebounds, instead of them letting them get second or third chances. Imagine what type of game this is. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that we're gonna have to keep working on. Tips is definitely gonna get in there. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to practice and all that stuff, but I think this is great film for the team to watch. I think this is a great game for them to build on, to know that they could compete with teams at this level. So which is something that we're also gonna attack later on. So let's jump into these stats, ladies and gentlemen. We like to cover the sexy stats more so, but when it's the Knicks, we're gonna do it all. All right. 25-2 for my man R.J. Barrett. That's somebody we're gonna be talking about later. 14, 12-2 in 31 minutes for Julius Randle. 5-9-1 for Mitchell Robinson. Didn't get too much production from him today. You know what I'm saying? But what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? I was just mentioning the Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis, and I didn't mention him, but Bobby Portis is somebody there, and Giannis. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure put there. It's really, really hard for Mitch to be Mitch and get those type of offensive boards when you got Brook Lopez, who's a solid body. I would assume just off of looks that Brook probably got a good 15 pounds on him. So it's going to be difficult to get those type of offensive rebounds that we know how Giannis is. But anyway, 13, 3-2 for Jalen Brunson, 11-4 for Evan Fournier, 6-8-2 Isaiah Hartenstein, 14-4-3 Emmanuel Quickly, 11-3-2 for Obi Toppin, 12-4-4 for Derrick Rose, 2-1-2 for 2-2-1 should I say for Cam Reddish. All right. Real sexy stats on this side, all right? For the Bucks, 30 points, 14 and 9 assists for your man Giannis. He's just a beast. I can only imagine the fantasy numbers. I ain't even looked today. But 17, 4-2 for Grayson Allen, 14, 11-2 Brook Lopez. Yo, Grayson Allen can't be 30 years old. I gotta check this. You know what I'm saying? Well, my man is going gray on the side. I don't even think JJ Redick going gray yet. So how you? It's like, damn, this dude's that's retired. That's not going gray yet. And Grayson Allen, man, I guess it's the name. But anywho, 14, 3-1 for Javon Carter, 16-5 and 6 for Jrue Holiday, 12-4 for George Hill. That's one of the best offensive rebounding guards, and he was literally in the paint with 3 of our guys and got an offensive board and was able to put it back up. He bricked, but you know what I'm saying, still, that's stuff you don't want to see. So when they're looking at the film, I would pause it right there and say, you let this man get the rebound? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with y'all? We got some things to clean up, all right? 12 and 12 for Bobby Portis in 25 minutes. Man, that's one of the guys I actually liked from that signing. That when we got all those power forwards, we pretty much signed a third of the power forwards in the league that year. Bobby Portis was one of my favorite pickups that year, and I wish we could have kept him, but he went over there to get a championship, and I'm very very happy for him. All right, but now that we're done with the stats, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a tough critic. I wasn't gonna pick one today. But who am I to stop the show, man? Let's get it going, man. Ladies and gentlemen, today's easy star of the show. Man, that man is nice. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to cuss over here. Derrick Rose. Listen, man. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 for 8 from the field. 2 for 3 from deep. That's 66.6% if you want to break it down exactly in 15 minutes. Running back. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 for 8, 2 for 3 from deep. In 15 minutes. Derrick Rose. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta get this man some burn. We gotta do something. We gotta do something. They set a stat that he played only 60-something minutes this season and got 40 points in those 60 minutes that he played. Like it's it is ridiculous. He comes off the bench and it's automatic flamethrowing. And I said something last season, before last season started. I said this is going to be the season D Rose shoots the best from the 3-point line. And he was shooting phenomenally. But then he went down. He went down for maybe 3/4 of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, he's picking up right where he left off. He is knocking the 3-point shot down. I don't know his field goal percentage right now. I didn't look at that up before I went and picked a star to show. This was a last minute decision. I wasn't going to pick any stars because I was really, disappointed with, the team played to a certain extent. But, as well, on an individual extent, I wasn't extremely happy with anybody. But as a team, I was happy with the team effort, especially against a team like the Bucks. But Derrick Rose, man, he's snapping right now. He's shooting very, very well from 3-point range. And I love to see it, man. It's just where you gonna find this dude minutes? Mind you, Quentin Grimes ain't even here yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, we not done. Let's get into the next segment, man. The takeaways. Takeaways of this game. Identity. All right. I feel like the identity is there, but I feel like there's still some figuring out to do. Mainly because it's something that I'm also going to address. I just don't feel like the team. One, I want to see what the team looks like with Grimes, not just how we're performing. What happens to the depth? Because we know how much Tibbs loves him, and I know Tibbs is gonna work him back into that rotation. So depending on when he comes, you gotta maybe consider 5 to 7 games after that to see what this roster and what the depth chart is really going to be looking like once he's consistently back in play. Because we're already struggling to get Rose some minutes. Reddish is coming in and playing little spurts. He'll play a lot first half, or play enough first half. And then second half, he's getting a sprinkle of minutes because RJ is playing too long. For me, I felt like RJ played a little too long this game, and we sat him down a little late. But I do think that identity is somewhat there. We definitely going to be one of the top defenses. I do believe that, although everybody and their mama is scoring over 120 points this this season, it's coming with ease. Like it's to pass 100 points, everybody's getting that in the third quarter now. It's ridiculous. Like you look tonight, the Hawks had 136 points. And I don't even think that was overtime. I don't know. I do feel like we have a defensive identity, obviously, but I think it's going to be potent. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be that type of team with Tibbs, but I feel like we're going to be one of the top defenses once more. So that's always a good thing. Offensively, we get buckets. We can get buckets. Uh, we just got to figure some things out, and that right there is because of some of the players, and it's going to be because of the depth chart. We know IQ is the type that Tibbs like to play in minutes, but are we sacrificing on defense sometimes when IQ is playing and alongside Brunson because he's one of the highest paid players? It's like, how do you sit Brunson down and put a defensive body in there like a Cam? And but also you see what Brunson did last game and how clutch he is, and so the last place I want to be right now is Tom Thibodeau. See, but he's gonna figure it out. All right. Next up on the takeaways, man. Tough schedule. Tough schedule coming up. This is. I don't want to say this early in the season is make or break, but this first part of the season is definitely gonna make a man out of us. Like it's just they're not playing no games. It's like we straight into the fire as soon as this begins. We had those 3 games, and it was like, you know what I'm saying. All right, cool, we can celebrate. This is they're not trying to play with us. This is fully. Let's see what y'all about. Are y'all for real? All right, so we had the Bucks. Next, we got Cleveland, which should be interesting for many reasons. Uh, Donovan Mitchell is in Cleveland going bananas right now. He had 41 tonight. I know that because he snapped for my fantasy squad. And he's been having triple double nights there. And Karis LeVert just had 41. They had 41 apiece tonight in an overtime game against the Celtics. Finals runner-up Celtics, and killed them in overtime. It's just so that's who we got to finish October off. We got Atlanta. We got 76ers who haven't been playing their best, but that's one of those people in the Atlantic division that always give us a test. And then we have the Celtics right after that. All right, you got the new look Timberwolves. You got Brooklyn Nets, and Pistons, Thunder, Jazz. That's where it might get a little easier. But then you go right back into it. You got the Nuggets. You got the Warriors. You got Phoenix. Take a break. You got Thunder. But this was a game that we lost last year. So in the midst of all these games that it's really competitive and it's division games and it's, you know, top West Conference teams, you got these sprinkles of the Thunder, which are we still going to be mentally there to see, all right, yo, certain teams don't belong on the floor with us. We got to wipe the floor with them and then get right back to it. But that's the second game of the back-to-back after Phoenix. How are we going to be feeling? We got Portland. We got Memphis after that, which I feel like should be a good rematch. I'm definitely looking forward to that game. And then Pistons, and then we play the Bucks again at the end of November. So that's the November schedule right there. Tough schedule is definitely going to make a man out of us. I do feel like, in a way, which is the next takeaway, we are somewhat underestimating this team. I do feel like if we figure this offensive rotation out, and one hot take I have is Fournier is gonna. I probably said it before. I think Fournier is the odd man out. I think Fournier is gonna find his way out of this rotation because we really maybe we need to play the Celtics to figure out the temperature with Fournier because he was dropping 40 on them every time he saw them pretty much. So I do feel like he's the odd man out. It's been 8 points. It's been 11 points. It's we haven't seen Fournier really go crazy just yet. So I do feel like we're underestimating this team if we go full defensive. Like Brunson is going to put in that effort. He's going to get you some charges. If we get a Grimes and Cam in there more, and Fournier, maybe the beginning part of the season, Fournier is still going to be a part of us. But I feel like when that trade deadline hits, Fournier might be the odd man out. And I like the way Fournier plays with this team, but it's just that roster spot just looks like a filler right now, and it looks like because he's one of the highest paid, that that's the only reason he's on the floor at certain times. He plays good, but I think we're going to be moving off that. That's just my opinion. So if we get a Grimes in there, we get Cam in there, and we get Derrick Rose in there, and we actually figure out a consistent rotation for the second and first unit, I think we're underestimating what this squad could do, because if everybody's just putting in that work defensively, and we know we have a new identity to put the ball in the hoop, and mainly because we have a point guard that's directing away and it's not getting stagnant because we're running it through the power forward who doesn't necessarily have too many handles. Uh, we could win some of these games that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We could take a game over Brooklyn, the Hawks, and the Sixers, and the Celtics. We always match up pretty well with them. They're missing Robert Williams right now. These are certain games that we could steal. We would be going in as the underdogs, but I think we can steal. The Warriors, obviously, it's that right there. That's not looking too good. But the Nuggets, they always, you know what I'm saying? But we could steal some of these games. So I think to a certain extent we're underestimating what this team can do, and there's only one way to find out, and that's by some of these games being played. All right, last on the takeaways. Come on, RJ. RJ had another 20 points today, but it just doesn't look right. It just does not look right. I mean, the 3-point shot looks much better, but he's just not. The decision making is just horrible. He's shooting them at the wrong time, shooting shots contested when you don't really need to be shooting a contested shot. Um, that's not what we want from you. RJ could be a team that, me speaking on underestimating, is the thing that takes us over the top and really exceed this team's potential. Um, if RJ turns it up and be RJ that we know, he's starting off slow, and then next thing you know, he has 20 points, and you're like, how did he even get to 20? I don't recall. This game, he had a hot third quarter. He was pretty much carrying the team. He had 13 points in the third quarter. Uh, just pretty much carried the Knicks that whole third quarter. So situations like that you understand, but it's just not coming at a, like, we want to see a consistent 4 quarters. He's always starting the game real slow, and then you come up and another game he had 20 points. It was sort of garbage buckets. Like, that's how you got to your 20. So are you just here to pack on stats, or you here to really play ball? Like, you know what I mean? So this is somebody we was talking about. We got to be handing the reins to. You're the highest player on the team, highest paid player on the team. What do you? We need to see more. Essentially, we just need to see more. I'm not 100% happy with RJ. Uh, I don't know what he. Maybe his situation is like what Quickly did. Quickly was just finding his way in the offense and finding where he was supposed to be. And once he did, Quickly became a little more consistent. Even today, Quickly put in a good game for us. I would say if I had to choose a star of the show besides Rose, it would have to be Quickly, because he came in and he was really, really consistent off that bench. Um, and had 3 steals. He was just causing havoc there, and going into the paint, drawing fouls, and this, that, and the third. So Quickly had a good game. Um, but it's RJ. Like, we need more from RJ. Just plain and simple. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, man, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers next Sunday. I'll be here to give my breakdown after that game. And hopefully we get a dub. That's going to be a tough game because just like this team, they have length, but they have scores. To me, this is one of the most balanced teams in the NBA. They have scores, quick guards, they have wings, they have tall people who can put the ball in the basket. It's This team is so balanced. They they could they could sneak and be top three in the East. I have a very profound respect for this team, and for them to add on Donovan Mitchell is just crazy. I think Garland is hurt right now, and they're still cooking. So this should be an interesting game to see how we're competing with these type of teams that are so balanced and that make us look small when we're an okay sized team. You know what I mean? But some teams just make us look like dwarfs, and the Bucks is one of them, and the Cavaliers is definitely one of them. All right, but we'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is, man. I am your host, Young Paul Easy. You've been tuned in to the Knicks vibes, man. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with your peoples. I truly appreciate it. You already know what the vibes is on this side. Love, gratitude, positive attitude. I'll catch you on the next one.